All right, can you tell me about your first years as a beginning teacher?
Well, we were in far west Texas during our first years of teaching because we got certified. We had Kurt and I already had our degrees, and we went out to Sul Ross to get certified. And we ended up in Van Horn. And my first year to teach, I taught pre-K, and I had 2 groups of 23 kids each. And my conference period was at the end of the day, and I took one group to lunch and I picked the other group up, and I told myself, if it doesn't get better in 5 years, this is it for me. And obviously it got a lot better.
Good deal. All right, can you tell me a little bit about your most favorite experiences as a teacher?
My favorite experiences. That's a hard one. Obviously, I love 3rd graders. 8-year-olds are my favorite age. I like them. They, they're a little bit more independent, but they're still so sweet. I love reading, and I love passing that love that I have on to them.
Awesome. What are your plans for after retirement?
I don't know. Life is an open door. I'm going to step right into it and fly.
Okay, tell me about your family. What's happening with them? Something important is happening this summer.
Well, both our kids are in Seattle, believe it or not, and our daughter is getting married this summer, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
All right. Is there any last parting words that you have for Blanco ISD?
Well, I love Blanco. I always will. Thank you.
All right. Can you tell me a funny memory that you have about Valerie Shoemaker?
I do. I have a lot of memories, funny and tearful memories, but one of the ones that comes to mind is, I think it was the year that Miriam was graduating. It may have been Jaeger, but I think it was Miriam. We were at the end of the year. We were exhausted, and it was our conference period. And I went into her room, and I didn't see her, but all the lights were on. And I was walking out. I saw her laying on her kid's reading couch, fast asleep. So we woke her up. It was an exhausting time. But anyway, I wish you nothing but the best, Val. We are going to miss you so, so much.
All right, Miss Parker, tell me what you're going to miss most about Miss Shoemaker.
Our school is losing such a wonderful educator. She is so great with the kids, and I'm going to miss her smiling face in the hallway. I'm going to miss her personality at staff meetings and her warm heart. She's just going to be missed all the way around. She's a great, loving person, and I've truly treasured working with her.
What are you guys going to miss the most about Valerie?
I'm going to miss all of her planning and all of her foresight and keeping us on track. And I'm also going to miss that laugh when she's really tickled. It's just kind of a contagious laugh.
I think I'm going to miss most all the things I could have learned. It's been a wonderful learning experience teaching next to Valerie, and I think that there's just a whole world of wisdom that I did not have time to gather from her.
I'm going to miss her friendship. I can always count on Valerie. One time I was up at the old building on the weekend and I could smell smoke. So who did I call? I called Valerie. We called the fire department, and I don't know, it was some kind of microwave problem, but she's the one I can always count on.
All right, are there any parting words for Miss Shoemaker that you would like to tell her?
Definitely relax, enjoy it,
And don't look back.
We love you, Valerie.
Bye.
Go.
Hey Val, I just wanted to say congratulations on your retirement. I'm so excited for you and what lies ahead for you. You've given so much time and love to the kids of Blanco, and you deserve this. One day in August you're going to wake up and you're going to wonder, what did I do? And you're going to miss your friends and you're going to miss your sweet little students. But it's going to be okay. Trust me. I love you and I am so excited for you. And remember, it might be 10 o'clock here, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Love you, Val. Congratulations. Much love.
So, Miss Pepper, what have you been doing since you retired?
Well, since I've retired, I've been spending a lot of time with my mom and my younger brother. I go to HEB at 8 in the morning, which is nice because there's nobody there. And some days I don't get out of my pajamas till right before my husband comes home from work.
What would you like to tell me about Carol Pepper?
Well, I want to talk about Carol a lot because Carol and I have worked together, I think since maybe 2005. Blanco was part of Hayes Blanco Co-op at that time, and I was working at the co-op, and got to know Carol. And our kids, our own personal kids, were young then, and we started out our professional relationship with a challenging situation, involved attorneys at that time. Carol will remember who I'm talking about. And so we started off with that, and we've had other challenging situations through the years. But Carol has always been my go-to person at Blanco Middle School for our challenging special ed students that have had behavior. And so I would always go to her. I would prep her every year. Okay, so the 5th grader's moving up to 6th grade. This is the situation. And Carol would be always like, we've got this, it's not a problem, bring them on over here. And it really was true. She always had a way of working with those challenging students and making an impact on their lives. I've seen her use her own money to buy students food if they didn't have lunch. I've seen her use her own money to buy, if they needed shoes, they didn't have good clothing, she would make those sacrifices because she truly cared. On the other hand, you always knew exactly where you stood with Carol Pepper. She told it just like it was. And so sometimes, you know, we would have to agree to disagree, but she would always in the end do what was exactly right for students and what they needed. And so I'll kind of end with a little funny story that only Carol and maybe a couple of other people in the district will know the hidden meaning. But when I say she says it like it is, Carol, do you remember the time that you said, "You're a liar and a thief"? And so I love you. You've been a great asset. You've been wonderful for the students of Blanco ISD. And I personally will miss you. I will miss you not only in the education realm, but talking about our kids. Our boys now are adults, and we've talked about just as recently as last week, you know, fussing and cussing and talking about all kinds of things. So you will be missed greatly at the campus. You have been missed greatly at the campus since Christmas. But this is a well-deserved retirement, and I wish you all the happiness. Love you.
Hey Carol, I just wanted you to know that, oh my gosh, I have missed you so much this year. You have been a wonderful inspiration to me all throughout my years here at middle school. You were so much fun to have in the classroom. I just remember you standing back in the back, making faces sometimes at what someone had said, and you just made me laugh, and that was one of my favorite classes if you were in it. So I just want you to know that I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful retirement, and I hope I get to see you around sometime. Bye.
Hey Carol, the past year and a half, I'm too sad that you left me in December. I understand. Have been great years. You've made my transition from engineering into teaching so flawlessly smooth, and even when I was up there teaching, you know, interest rates and having to ask you, hold on, I don't feel like this formula is right, and we can go to our math minds and we proved it wrong. That's what I loved about you, is that you had my back 100% no matter what. Having you in my class was a joy, and I look forward to our nights out, hanging out by the fire pit and being a part
with a CHS. You know what that means. Hi, Carol. Hey, girl, we already miss the stories and the fashionista of seeing you every day. Miss
True.
it dearly.
We miss your fashion, keeping us in line. Love you. Wish you could come back. We love you, but we
Yeah, we're like
understand you're having fun.
We're like almost.
Enjoy.
Come back. Love you.
Love you.
Carol, first of all, I know you and John are probably sitting out on your back deck enjoying those days passing by, but I do want you to know that you made a very, very positive effect on every student that you came into touch with here in Blanco ISD. And I got to coach your boys and work side by side with you for whatever, probably over 10 years. And I enjoyed every minute of it, and your boys and your gracious attitude that you had towards some of these little darlings. And my last message to you is, Carol, I need you back here next year in August 2018 to take your job back. So get your butt back up here.
Tell me about your first teaching job.
My first teaching job was with the Blanco Hayes Co-op, and I was a homebound teacher. I went to kids' homes from K through 12. The most interesting one was a child in Wimberley who was chemically impaired, or they couldn't be around any kind of chemicals, so when I would come, I would have to not wash my hair with any kind of scented shampoo and put on a habitat, no, what would you call it?
Hazmat.
A complete covering of my clothes.
Tell me about your time at BISD.
I have been on all 3 campuses at BISD. When I started here, there was one campus with the middle school and elementary on one side of the parking lot and the high school on the other side of the parking lot, and the administration in that little building. Now, I have been on the high school, I have been at the middle school, I came back to the middle school. I like the kids and the staff much better at this school.
What will you miss most about BISD?
I will miss my colleagues that I've worked with. It's a tight group of teachers that I work with at the middle school, and I've really enjoyed all their company, even when Ben fusses at me. I will also miss the students. I've seen a lot of students come through here, and some have really touched my heart.
What are your future plans?
I'm leaving June 10th to move to North Carolina, at least for a year. Both my children live there, and they have been sending me job opportunities and trying to talk me into moving up there for quite some time. So I told them I would give it a try.
Hi, Linda. We're gonna miss you. I guess you and I were the 2 oldies left around here, and now you're leaving me, and it's just gonna be me. So I'll have to hold down the fort. One thing that I always think of when I think about you, how you always were willing to rearrange your schedule and do whatever it took to help anybody out. You'd give up your conference period, you'd trade around, and you just always went above and beyond to help your kids or to help out the teachers. And that is something I'll never forget about you. All the other memories, I don't want to put them on tape, so we've got some good ones. We've spent time together outside of school, gone to plays together, had a few gatherings after school. But anyway, we're gonna miss you. It won't be the same without you. You better come see us. Enjoy those grandbabies. We love you. Bye-bye.
Hey Linda, we're gonna miss you around here. Thanks for getting me my job so many years ago. I really appreciate everything you've done for me personally and at work. You've always given me support and encouragement, and I'm gonna miss you. Enjoy living with your daughters. I know that they're super excited, and so are the grandbabies. Love you.
Okay, I'll start out with that. Hey, Linda. No. Hey, Linda. I'll start over. All right, ready? Hey, Linda. This should be me. I am so jealous of you. This is my year to retire, not yours. Or we could retire together. It's been great having you in the classroom. So many things make me think of you. But the biggest thing that I loved about you coming in is when you take some of those kids out for oral reading on tests. Have a great time. Enjoy your retirement. We're going to miss you a lot.
Linda, you are going to be missed. You have been a great support to me in the classroom and in my personal life as well. You always were willing to work with whatever student and step up and do what needed to be done, and I know you've touched a lot of kids' lives, and you certainly were a big support to me, especially after the flood, showing up, shoveling mud and painting walls, and I'll always remember you and will miss you.
Can you tell me a little bit about Linda Manjaris?
Linda Manjaris. Yes, I can tell you a lot about Linda Manjaris. When I first started working with Linda, I think then she was at the high school campus and teaching special education. Blanco again was still part of the Hayes Blanco Special Ed Co-op. And when I first met Linda, I realized what a great teacher she was and is. Shortly after school started that fall, I think it was 2005, I went out to my campuses that were part of Hayes Blanco Co-op, and I wanted to get to know the special ed teachers that I would be working with and supporting. And so Linda was one of my first classrooms that I went to. And I went to her door, and you know sometimes when a salesman will come to your front door and you're thinking, who is that at my door? And you only crack the door a little bit to see what do they want. Well, Linda probably doesn't remember this, but I went to her classroom door. She was in the trenches teaching. She's a teacher who teaches bell to bell without exception. And so I knocked on the door and wanted to talk to her to kind of see how I might support her and help her, just to introduce myself. And I got a little bit of a door crack. And so it wasn't long after many visits that I was in the door, in the classroom, because she was so down to business and she did not want to be disturbed while she was teaching, and that holds true to this day. I have seen Linda at the middle school. She's always in a classroom working with students. I've seen her sitting in the hallway teaching students on the floor. Any little nook and crevice that she can find to teach students is where you will find Linda. And so I'm going to miss her expertise, her dedication to her students, the academic gains that I've seen that she's made with the students that she's worked with through the years. And I miss her. I'm going to miss her wisdom. She's been in this profession. I think this is her 36th year. And I know this is my 33rd year, and I know the changes that we've seen through the years, not only in education, but special education specifically. We've seen the pendulum swing many different ways. And so Linda always goes with the flow. She adjusts to whatever the circumstances are, because her ultimate goal is to educate kids. And she gets that done just about as best as anybody I've ever seen. And so Linda, I know we talked recently about this being a bittersweet move for you. It certainly is bittersweet for me, because I'm going to miss you greatly in the classroom. But I know you deserve this retirement. You deserve to go and have time with your grandchildren and your daughter. They need you more now, right now, than Blanco ISD does. But if you ever want to come back, I'm sure we'll have a space for you, maybe as a substitute or whatever, but I'm going to miss you greatly, because you've certainly made a profound impact on the students that have come through Blanco ISD. I wish you well. I love you. Enjoy your time in North Carolina.
Linda, I am going to miss you next year. You have been a great teacher here at Blanco Middle School and just a good friend and always so much fun to talk to. I hope you have a wonderful time with your grandkids and your daughters and just not having to come to work. Enjoy that life. I'm looking forward to it too. Well, hopefully I'll see you around at maybe some flea markets, but just have a good retirement. I'll miss you. Bye.